I'm Laura A. Grace, and I am a reviewer and writer here at Beneath the Tangles, and I am so excited that you are here. If you saw our video last week, I'll leave a link here, or up in the cards, we started a new video series called the ABCs of Shoujo Manga. Last time, we did the letter A, and it was so much fun. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Today, we are on the letter B of Shoujo Manga, and I will say right now, it was hard. Not because I couldn't find anything, but because I found so much manga that started with the letter B. I was like, okay, apparently the letter B is a very popular choice for shoujo manga. So I'm going to try, as always, like I said in the previous video, I'm going to only do 3 or 4 titles, and I'm also going to include 1 digital title. I don't want it to be overwhelming, even though I know there's so much out there. And let's go ahead and dive right in, because I am so excited for both of these. Now, I'll say, for the first one, I was really divided, and so I'm technically going to cheat, and I'm going to show two at the same time. I was stuck between either highlighting Beastmaster or highlighting Backstage Prince. I have both of these. They are a 2-volume series, but I think I'm going to go with Beastmaster because I still have not read Backstage Prince. Though, fun fact, real quick about this, I actually discovered this series through my friend Maeve. She gifted me some of these Shoujo Beat magazines for my birthday, I believe it was last year, and I was able to read some of this manga through that magazine, and it was so very cool. But let's go ahead and transition to Beastmaster. I got this as a recommendation from a friend of mine where she was like, don't be deceived by these covers. She's like, it's so sweet and so clean and wholesome. And I was like, I don't know. But she was the same friend that recommended Haikyuu, and that is my all-time favorite manga and anime. So I'm like, I trust her judgment. She's not going to mislead me. And she is right. Do not be deceived by these covers. I'm not really sure why it looks like it does, because they are so precious. In fact, I feel like this cover here, or the back cover of this one, I feel like this more like accurately represents these characters better than the front. These two characters, especially Leo, oh, he is so sweet. They are so adorable. I don't know how easy or how hard it is to find this series. I hope it's fairly easy to find because it is so sweet. Like, this is a really good one for somebody who really loves animals, because our main girl, I can't remember her name. What is her name? Yuiko. Yeah, Yuiko. Yuiko loves animals, but animals don't like her. Meanwhile, Leo, he likes animals, but animals love Leo. And so that sort of actually kicks off their romance relationship a little bit. And it is just, oh, it's so sweet. It's so very sweet. I really enjoy this. Yuiko and Leo, they are just goals. They have great communication. And even when they don't, they're still there for each other and still support one another. And they still strive to have open communication with them. And because Leo was he wasn't from the safari, I believe that he did live in Africa, like, he is more used to basically hanging around animals, wild animals to be exact, that sometimes his communication with other people is harder. But Yuiko sees his heart, and that is really what this manga centers around, is her seeing the real him, and that Leo is not this scary guy. Like, he's very much a sweetheart cinnamon roll deep down. It is such a wonderful series, and like I said, it's only 2 volumes, so it's very short. It is a great one to pass the time, or if you're just looking something for just super sweet that has animals that play a big role in it. It's so great. Speaking of animals, I'm so excited to feature this one, and a huge shout out to Tweeka Beneath the Tangles, because he sent me a copy of this, and I love this series so much. It is Beast of Abigail. Oh my goodness, this is so good. This is so good. Like, this was sort of unexpected in how much I loved this volume. In fact, I have been so eager for the second volume to come in the mail, because I'm like, I must read it. I must know what happens. And it's about our main girl here. I can't remember her name. Nina. There we go. Nina is a human girl. She comes to this country to live with her uncle. She's looking for a new beginning because she had been bullied, and I believe something happened where she might have used karate to handle the situation. So she's looking for a new start in this country, but things aren't quite what they seem. There's a legend that there are werewolves, and that the roses keep the werewolves away. And maybe that's true. She really doesn't know, until, lo and behold, she somehow ends up becoming, I guess you would say, a luga is what they call them. So where she's half human and half wolf. And oh my goodness, it is so great. It is so great. The world building, is just very, very good. Like, usually I feel like in shoujo manga, I don't have a lot of experience with fantasy shoujo manga. I do have Snow with the Red Hair, but I have not finished reading that series. I'm super behind on that one. But the world building is excellent. It's not overpowering. The story and our main girl, Nina, is just an epic heroine. I was super cheering for her, especially by the end, or at the end, I should say. I'm like, yes, like, girl, you tell that character that they cannot control you. Like, no. She has a very strong sense of justice, and that plays a very strong theme through this manga. You see it in different situations where things aren't necessarily easy for our main girl whatsoever. I really like the cast of characters. I am very, very excited. So thank you so much, Tweak, for sending me this, because I'm just like, oh my goodness, I cannot wait to read more. It is so good. If you love fantasy manga, I definitely recommend this. It does have like 1 or 2 words of language, which I was a little bit surprised, because I do believe it's 13 and up, and the language was a little bit stronger than I feel was typically PG-13. So just to keep that in mind, but it's very great. The characters are great. The story is awesome, and I cannot wait to read more of this. And definitely stay tuned for Reader's Corner, because I will be leaving my reviews as I get these volumes, hopefully here soon. I was going to say for number 3, but I feel like this is number 4 since I did Backstage Prints, but I had to feature this for the letter B, and that is Beauty Pop. Oh my goodness, I love this manga. It has been so long since I have read it, but Kiri, our main character, is such a fun heroine to just cheer for, to follow. This was so interesting to me because I feel like this manga is great and perfect for those who love like shows like America's Next Top Model or things with modeling, even though this actually centers around hairstyling and such. It just has those themes, but I think without the drama and whatnot that like the shows had, and puts it in a high school setting. And Kiri, though, is very interesting because she's very chill. She's not very, what's the word I'm looking for? She's not very exuberant and gets very excited, and she's not very bubbly. So she is a unique shoujo character in that regard. And the people around her are very interesting as well. The love interest, I'm not sure if I should say it, so I'm going to change originally what I was going to say. One of the other male leads right here, he's very, very grumpy, but he's so passionate, and I admit that I did not like him in the beginning. It took me a few volumes to actually warm up to him, but you do see that he's just a very passionate young man. He's very, very much wanting to not only please the people that he's cutting the hair for, but even greater, he just wants to do a good job because he loves what he does. But this series is so much fun, and I'm so sad to share that I believe this has gone digital only now. I'm not 100% sure, but I do know that Right Stuff Anime no longer carries the volumes, which is a disappointment because this is such a fun series. I really, really enjoyed it. And like I said, just that hair aspect and seeing them very briefly, it's not a focus, but they do talk about like different hair types and how to take care of it, how to have, or certain hairstyles to have with certain face structures. Like, I thought that very, very fascinating, and I very much loved just the building up and the competitions with these hairstyling and whatnot. That was very much one of my favorite parts, and so I would definitely recommend this series. Like, if you can get your hands on it, it's such a good time. The characters are great, and everybody's very different. The romance is very much on the, I was going to say back burner, but it's not a huge part of the story. So if you like shoujo manga that doesn't have this overwhelming strong emphasis of romance, yes, it's definitely there, but it's very much in the not back burner because it's still there, but I would say it's just not as prominent as I've seen some of the other shoujo manga, and especially in the light of the ones I've shared today so far. And speaking of that, let's go ahead and feature our digital manga for today, and I'm very excited because this is one that I have personally really, really, really want to read, and that is Bibliophile Princess. Oh my goodness, the covers for this series are gorgeous. In fact, that is originally why I put it on my TBR. I think I discovered it like when it first released from J Novel Club. I think the light novel came out first. Yes, the light novel came out first and then the manga. And I hear we're getting an anime, and I'm just like, please, J Novel Club, like please put this in paperback because I really want to read it. Not just for that cover, but just for the story too. And the story is about Lady Ilana, I think is how you say her name. And she is engaged to this crown prince, and at a like ball of sorts, the crown prince she sees is consorting, as the blurb says, with another woman, just in word alone. Like, there's nothing happening, but she thinks, oh man, things are not going to pan out. He already has feelings for this other woman. Things look sort of, I must say things look bleak for me, but that sounds discouraging. But she decides that she's sort of going to, I wouldn't say take matters into her own hands, but she knows that she needs to prepare for this engagement to end because things are just not going to be successful. But here's the thing, what she doesn't know is that what she's seeing is not actually what's happening. And what I mean is that what she feels like that he may be cheating on her is not actually what's happening. Like, it says that the truth's going to run deep and that the conspiracy of her imagination is all that it is. So I'm assuming that our crown prince here has to sort of prove that he really does love our bibliophile princess, and what that looks like. That's all I know about this manga, except for, like I said, it does have a light novel. The covers are gorgeous. I know I shouldn't just focus on the covers, but I'm just like, oh my goodness, like they're every single one of them, the light novel and the manga, are just so very beautiful. And I'm really excited to know that this does have some very strong reviews on like Amazon when I was looking at it, and people seem to really love this series. So maybe they'll pull a Kodansha move and be like, it was digital first, now we're going to paperback. Like, yes, 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 yes. But even if it doesn't come to paperback, I need to get it because I think I don't have the first volume of the manga. I might have the first volume of the light novel on my Kindle. I remember reading the sample long time ago and very much enjoying what I read. So I'm very hyped that the anime is coming. And this is one I feel like I would definitely recommend just because I'm like, the covers are so beautiful. But also the artwork is very pretty as well. And it just sounds like a really great story. I mean, you can't go wrong with the title. Bibliophile Princess. Yes, 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 yes. And that wraps up the manga that I would choose for the letter B. So many good titles, and I know that I have not even featured probably even a quarter of all the shoujo manga that start with the letter B. So what would you choose? What would you recommend for the letter B? Or are any of these manga here that I featured today some of your favorites? What did you like about them? Have you read any of these? I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And thank you so much for watching. Bye!